So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a nice wavelength cut with the mid to high fade, step by step by step. So let's get into it.
Clear out the room, I'm coming through, they wanna see what I'm about. Yeah, I got skills, do it for the thrill, I'm on a paper route. Extra, read about it, I'm today's trending topic.
YouTube, what is good? Today we're going to be doing, like I said, a wavelength cut with a mid to high fade. So we're going to start off by taking the hair down to a 1 guard all the way open. So technically this would be considered a 1.5. It's just slightly lower than the actual 1.5 guard, but I'm going to go ahead and follow his wave pattern that he has set in, going with the grain, being real careful in the back, because as you can see it's a little lighter in the crown area, so I want to make sure that I don't take it lower than it needs to be. I want to keep it dark and full. And now to get into the fade, we're going to go ahead and set in our bald line. So you'll see me start at the top of where the C cup would be, and then I'm going to drop it towards the back a little bit just to add some, custom look to the fade. And I'm going to go ahead and connect it with the other side. And as you can see, the line is not perfect. I'm just trying to get it in here, you know what I'm saying? And then just to move on with the blending process. And now we're gonna go ahead and bald everything under that out, get it nice and clean and set up for the fade. But you can see kind of why I called it a mid to high fade, because it's not super high, it's more mid, but it could be considered a high end type fade. But I'm staying real gentle here. I don't want to cause any irritation on his skin, or as minimal irritation as possible. So I'm letting the weight of the trimmer do the work. And now to get it slightly closer to the skin, I'm going to go ahead and bald it out with the shaver. And usually, on this hair texture, I don't use the shaver because they tend to bump up. But this client in particular does not bump up with the shaver. So that is why I'm using it. And now to move on to the next step, I'm gonna go in with my lever all the way open. And as you guys can see, I am using the new JRLs, the Gold edition. I will be doing a review on these clippers soon. They are super fire. But again, we're going in with our lever all the way open, and we're going up about a thumb's width, a full inch here. And we're gonna do this all the way around the head. And now to get rid of that line in between, I'm going to go in with the lever closed and then gradually open it until that line is as blended out as possible. And you'll see me continue to go over the same spot a couple times to make sure that I'm getting the line as blended out as possible. And that's because this client's head has some discoloration, so there are some dark spots on his skin that appear to be lines. So I'm going to continue just to go over it to make sure, if it's a line, it's truly blended out. And we're going to do that all the way to the back. And as you can see, I went close to open, and that line is pretty much blended out. And now to go right above that step, I'm going to come in with my 1 guard all the way open. And we're going to set in the next line. And you can see as I go against the grain, his hair bunches up. So that is why brushing the hair back down into its natural position is essential. Because you want to make sure that you get a nice and even cut, so that way you can have the cleanest blend possible. And you can see I'm going up pretty high with this 1 guard open. It's a little wider than I did with the the lever all the way open. And that's actually on accident. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I got carried away. But it ends up working out. So right under that 1 guard all the way open, I closed that lever just to lighten up that line a little bit. But you'll see what I mean. I'm able to blend that line out. So I'm going to come in with my 2 guard all the way open, and you're going to see this line essentially just come right out. And I'm coming off the shape of his head right here, not really digging into the waves too much. But as you can see, that line is already starting to get blended. So I made a mistake, but I stayed calm, I stayed patient. And that is why I tell you guys, if it seems to not be working out, man, just stay patient, stay consistent, trust the process, and you'll figure it out. And now right under that 2 guard open, I'll come in with my 1.5 open to make sure that this line is completely blended. And as you can see, it blended into the length on top very nicely, even though I took that 1 guard open a little too high. And now to get rid of this last line, I'm going to come in with my 1/2 guard all the way open. And then I'll gradually close that lever until that line is as blended out as I can get it. Remember to keep brushing the hair back down. As you can see, it starts to bunch up. I'll close that lever just slightly. Here, I'm really using the corner of that blade with this half guard, and this is going to allow me to go into that area where I use that 1.5 and get rid of those dark spots without taking off too much hair. So I'm opening the lever slightly, just trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And you can see as we continue to work at that line, it starts to come out, but I went ahead and took that half guard off. And I'm trying to just attack those dark spots that the half guard couldn't get rid of. And you can see as we do that, I start to get rid of those dark areas that I'm talking about. And now we're going to go ahead and blend out the back. So I came back to the half guard because I didn't finish. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. I started off open and then gradually close that lever as needed. And you can already see right here, the fade is not finished. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really have that polished look. But we're going to go back in detail and really get this blend super blurry. So I'm just continuing to detail using the corner of that with the lever all the way open. And you can already see how this blend is starting to look real seamless, real fluid and consistent throughout the entire head. And I think it's coming out very nicely. And now I'm going to use my razor comb, and this is just going to smooth, you know, the fade out a little bit more, get rid of all those stragglers. This isn't necessary, but this is just that extra step to really set yourself apart. And as you can see, man, this blend came together very nicely. If I'm helping you so far, drop a comment down below, hit that like button, because this blend is looking super blurry. Just really detailing here, trying to get this blend, you know, as best as I can. And now to get into the lineup, I'm going to go ahead and start in the middle and move towards his right side. And here I'm trying to keep it, you know, as natural as possible while keeping it as sharp and symmetrical as possible. So you see I started in the middle, then I went to the box, and now I'm going to meet those 2 points together. And that's to keep me from pushing that box back too much, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we can get carried away with lining up the front and getting it straight, that we dig into the sides a little too much. So to prevent that, I'll do the middle, and then I'll go to the sides, and then connect those 2 points together. And as you can see, as we put the line on this cut, it really brings everything together. It brings out all those minor imperfections that we're going to need to go back in detail. You want to make sure that you continually brush and comb the hairline, so that way you can know you're getting the sharpest line possible. Get rid of all those stragglers. And now to really take this haircut to the next level, I'm going to use some airbrush enhancement with my Kiss Mix. And I'm just going to lightly spray it in those, you know, lighter areas to really make the lineup pop. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the other side and do the same thing. And this just sharpens everything, really gives it that enhanced look, especially in this front lineup where it's a little lighter because he has a cowlick right there. And you can see what it's already doing to the cut. And the goal is to not make it look painted on, but make it look as natural as possible. But now to really get this line into the next level, we're going to go ahead and hit it with the razor. So I'm making sure I'm stretching the skin. And I'm just hitting that line up, getting rid of all those hairs that the trimmer couldn't get. And that hairline is coming together very nicely. And now to give it more of a polished look, I'm using my Suavecito pomade. And I'm going to use a light amount and just rub it in the top of his head to give it some shine. Really give it that nice finished and polished look. And we're wrapping him up, getting ready for the next one. But family, my man came in looking rough. We went ahead and got him together with the mid to high fade. Family, if this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this video, if it helped you in any way, shape, or form. But again, fam, I want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you guys next time.